Ryan, how's the squad feeling? Everyone confident ahead of Greece tomorrow?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Obviously back at Hampden, so it's exciting in front of the home crowd, and obviously looking to build on the good start we got last month.
Just on that good start, is there a sense amongst the squad here that you're in a really good position now to actually qualify for the tournament?
Yeah, we always had confidence, before a ball was kicked that we could qualify, and I think we're not daft that it's a very tight group. It's a bit of a strange group where, in a way every team can beat each other and there's no real obvious winner of the group. So in ways it suits us, in other ways it makes the group difficult, but it's early doors. These are the two games when the fixture list came out. You think you need to go and get points on the board when you play at home. You've been part of the national team setup for a long time now. Is this the strongest you feel the squad's been? Certainly up there. I think when you look at the teams that the boys are playing at across Europe and at club level, it's pretty impressive, and certainly helps when you come away and you look to the side of the calibre of players you're training and playing with. It gives us confidence as a group to go and get results.
Obviously, from a player's point of view, these camps coming so quickly one after the other, how beneficial is that, especially with the good start you guys had? Yeah, very. I think it helps for momentum to play a big part in the group. That's why we were so desperate to get off to a good start last month, that we didn't feel we were chasing our tail a little bit. So we managed to do that, and we need to, like I said, keep kind of building on that. Obviously it helps as well. It's probably similar faces. There's not going to be too many changes in the squad in these 3 months. So it's short and sharp, and it's a good setup. You were here the last time Greece came here in March. Can you take anything from that, or has circumstances changed? What have you learned from that match that you can take into this, if any? A bit of both. Obviously, that was a frustrating night for us. We've definitely watched clips from that game in terms of trying to learn from it and where we can, avoid the mistakes we made on the night and, hurt them a little bit more. Probably looking back at the game, we actually started the game all right, to be honest. When you look back, obviously, I think 3-0 probably flatters them. They were pretty cutthroat on the night. Another thing we need to remember is, not me, but how well the boys did, out there in the first leg to go and get results. So, it's a team we know, obviously, that we can beat. There's a chance for tomorrow night to put things right that what happened in March. I know it was only March, but do you feel the squad is in a much better place from then? Just like you said, that momentum, the confidence that you've got from the previous 2 games last month, are you in a better place from when you were in March? Yeah, I would say so. I think naturally when you start a new kind of qualifying campaign, there's just a feeling of freshness about it, and everything from before that is kind of parked, and you go into it with a new mindset. So like I said, we managed to kind of have that feeling last camp, and we're trying to carry it into this one.
Do you feel you maybe owe them one after what happened earlier this year?
You certainly don't like getting beat in front of your home fans, so we'd like to put that right, especially what the scoreline finished. Like I said, it was a frustrating night, but we're definitely in a new place now, and I would say there's probably a lot more on the line going into this one. And yeah, we're looking forward. It's been a while since we've played at Hampden in one of these qualifying campaigns, so looking forward to it.
You've been involved in some big nights at Hampden. How good would it be to make these two big nights to remember coming up?
Yeah, it's the games you kind of want to be part of. When I think back to the results we've had here, and the obviously ones, the Spain one, and we've beat Denmark here, which was a great night. You look back, it's probably the fondest memories I've got in my career. So you want to keep making more of those memories and keep building on it, especially when you know what the prize is at the end of it.
Ryan, I assume given your age, I assume your childhood memories don't extend to France in '98. Have you got no working knowledge of that at all?
Sadly not, no. I was 3 years old, I think, so no.
So what does the World Cup mean to you and guys of your age in this squad who have no practical experience of seeing Scotland there?
I probably don't just speak for myself, speak for everyone. I think everybody's just absolutely desperate to be part of a team that gets to put Scotland to a World Cup. Like you said, I think the majority of us are too young to remember the last one. It's been such a gap we knew that feeling obviously before we qualified for the first Euros, and how big it was to try and kind of tick that box, and now it's been obviously a long journey we've been on as a group with this manager, and you feel like that's the only kind of piece of the puzzle left, is to qualify for a World Cup.
Right, when we left, sorry.
No, I'll do that hopefully when we qualify. I think, with where it's getting held and the natural buzz in the football world around a World Cup, in general, it's something you're desperate to be a part of. I remember watching the last one. Obviously, we came close in the playoffs, but when it comes round, you're watching it on the TV and not playing in it. That's when it really hurts. So I don't think we want to be doing that watching this one.
After the last game here in March, Ryan, I think everyone was talking about the impact that young Karetsis had for Greece. Obviously, we didn't have Ben back then. Obviously, he was out. Having gotten to know him a bit better and playing with him down in Bournemouth, do you think he's the type of player who can give Scotland that kind of X factor as well?
Definitely, he's an attacking player, and he's a threat, and it's the kind of player we need. To be honest, I think every time he's played for Scotland, especially at Hampden, just with his directness and pace on the ball, he naturally lifts a crowd. He can change the kind of feeling of a game instantly. So, it's brilliant to have players like that in your squad. At club level, like you said, I've got to know him a bit more, and training day in, day out, and playing. I know how hard he works and how much he wants to do well. And I know how much playing for Scotland means to him. So, he's young, but he's definitely ready to make an impact for us. Yeah, I think it's a great move for him, joining us. I think he's said it himself, but he had some good loan spells from Liverpool, but at Liverpool it's hard to come out of that shadow of just being the kind of younger kid that is always just going to try and be drip fed. I think he's desperate to step in and try and play regular football as much as he can. Obviously with us at club level starting so well, it's going to be hard for him to break in, but even at the weekend, him coming on, getting an assist, it'll do him the world of good, and yeah, hopefully he can push on. Yep. A lot, I probably, I owe him a lot. Surprisingly, it took me till 28 to find my position on the football park, which has got to be the first ever, but yeah, he's been brilliant for me. Obviously, the position change, I think, suited me, down to a T. Where you stand with him and how kind of hands-on he is on the football pitch. It's really easy to understand what's expected of you and how front foot he wants you to be, which I think suits us down to the ground. And probably the one thing he's taught me is just how kind of being relentless is a big thing in football, and not taking what you've had or what you've done for granted to keep pushing on. And as soon as one game's over, it doesn't matter who you've beat, he's on to the next one, clean slate. So, yeah. I would say probably a bit both. I would say similar in terms of the message. His coaching points and his coaching methods are brilliant in terms of letting you understand what's expected of you. I think that's been something that this manager's got down to a T with everyone. You see, even when new players kind of come in and feed into the group, the younger boys, they slot in so seamlessly, which is a big credit to him. And yeah, just the way I think both of them as managers aren't really frightened to try and take games to big teams. Obviously at Bournemouth we've done that very well last season, and Scotland too. You need to, if you're going to qualify for the likes of World Cups, you need to go and beat big teams. So hopefully we can do that.
Both you and Ben came on and changed the game on Friday night, I think, Ryan. And do you feel, we talked about Ben, but do you feel in your pomp just now at your age, and do you feel that you're in your sort of best form of your career?
Yeah, I feel good. I certainly don't feel 30. But yeah, it's been brilliant at Bournemouth the last kind of few years. Obviously, where a lot of probably people say we're overachieving, but I think the big thing with the club is we're trying not to set ourselves a ceiling, to be honest, at this point. I think everything off the pitch at the football club is trending in an upward direction, and we're trying to follow that on the pitch. And as long as that keeps happening, who knows how kind of far we can take the club. Personally, I feel great. You come away with Scotland, and I've been very lucky to be involved in this kind of setup for a long time now. But sometimes you need to have the kind of reality check that the chances to qualify for a World Cup, are probably few and far between the older you get. So it makes you kind of even more desperate to try and grab it with both hands.
Look at your club manager at Bournemouth, he's running the line at a women's game that we kind of girls doing after your game, and just kind of shows the infectious nature, and I take it that enthusiasm just kind of rubs off.
Yeah, I think we've got that throughout the whole kind of club right now, in terms of right from the top to the bottom. Ever since the new owner took over, he's been brilliant in terms of implementing everything that he said he was going to do, and all of that has been direct links to the football pitch, whether that's the men's first team, women's, the youth, and at all levels, it's spread success. So it's been brilliant to be a part of. I don't think we're done yet. We're desperate to kind of keep pushing. We had an amazing season last year, but the start we've had this year, we know that we can keep surprising people around the country. And yeah, it's a good club to be involved with. No, probably not. I wouldn't say I'm frustrated at all. I think I'm at a part now where I'm happy, especially with how much respect I have to this manager, that I'm happy to play wherever he needs me to play. Playing for Scotland is something I've absolutely loved throughout my career. So as long as I can do that and play for them, I don't really matter where it is on the pitch for me. No, not really, to be honest. I'll be honest, I'm not really one to to go and kick up a fuss. I don't think, if it was really annoying me, I probably would, but it isn't. So, it's nothing I think I would ever kind of bring up with him or ask him to change. And it's not like it feels too different. Like I said, his coaching points and stuff to me, or especially when I've worked with him for so long, I know what he's wanting when I play out wide left or right. So, it doesn't make a difference.